It was at that point I realized Zach was trying to communicate with me that he wanted to play a game of pressure. So, in today's Jiu-Jitsu rolling commentary, we are going to talk about the wonderful invisible force of pressure, basically how to torture friends and influence people. Hi, my name is Crystal. If you have watched more than one video, go ahead and subscribe because it does take time to make these videos. Now let's get to rolling. I'm rolling with Zach. Zach is a purple belt under Travis Stevens. And I am a new purple belt. Zach's an experienced purple belt. Now I am going for a pressure pass, which is a knee slice pass. And the key here is to get that far side underhook. And Zach does something very interesting. You're gonna learn so much from Zach during this roll. Do you see how he basically got a side turtle? He got a side turtle from the bottom of half guard. So if you want to know a way to not get past when you're on the bottom of half guard, here is a technique in order for you to do that. He comes up into basically a referee's position into a turtle position. That was great. You're gonna learn so many escapes and stuff. You're gonna learn pressure counters from Zach in this video. Like, he does some really interesting stuff. So you never saw me take a thing. I heard a sound or two. let's keep going. Now Zach tries to take my back by getting his leg in that far side hook, but anytime somebody's trying to get that far side hook in, knee and elbow together will get you out of a lot of shiznit. So because he can't do that, he does something actually even more awesome. He does what's called a ninja roll. And this ninja roll is definitely quite ninja.
Them jeans, they fitting like a glove. I had a crush on you since real love. Hold your horses, I'ma show you who the boss is. I'm taking no losses. Even groups like SWG and TLC, Jesse B.I.G. with telepathy. The recipe, a picture hardcore with the gun. Pimpin' ain't easy, but it sure is fun.
So basically what you want to do is you want to lay on your near side shoulder, and you want to lay right beside them. You want to lay very close in order to get the ninja roll.
Little Gotti got the shotty to your body, so don't resist or you might miss Christmas. I tote guns, I make number runs.
And from here, I'm keeping my elbow and knee together, but look at what Zach does right here. Zach does something super interesting. Typically, when people are trying to get my back and I keep my elbow and knee together, they will give up because they can't get their foot in. Notice how Zach hooked the bottom of my leg. That way he could slide up in to get the hook in. So anytime you're trying to take somebody's back and they're blocking you with that knee and elbow, know that you can slide the hook in from the ankle.
My clip in the AK, I slay from far away. Everybody hit the DECA. My slow's remarkable. Peace to Mateo. Now we smoke like Tony Montana Scipio. That's crazy blunts, mad elves. My voice excels from the avenue to jail cell. Oh my God, I'm dropping like a pigeon. I hope you're listening. Smacking babies at the listening.
And here is another ninja roll. And you see how he presses off that far foot. Now from here, there are two different types of finishes. One, you can basically spread their legs in a type of forced yoga that'll get them to tap, or you can do a slice.
By now, you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now.
You slide your shin into their knee pit and basically use that as a wedge, and when you fold it down, this puts pressure on their joint. Conversely, what I was trying to do on the bottom there is an arm bar there from the bottom once you get ninja rolled and they're trying to, you know, make you into a Thanksgiving wishbone. And also what I was looking at was trying to shove his head between my legs, because anytime you can get an arm and a leg between your legs in any orientation, you have yourself a triangle. Now, the key to passing their guard is to get by both of their legs. And sometimes you see how he's trying to sneak in that bottom leg? One great thing to do is to try to staple both of their legs to the ground. That way you can get over both of their legs. So here it's a battle of he's trying to use his hands to force my leg in between his as I'm trying to circle, circle, circle to make sure I don't get caught inside his legs. And this was a perfect setup. So basically I circled, circled, circled to get out of between his legs, and then he used that as a setup to then escape from the bottom of side control, from the bottom of half guard. It would be the bottom of side control if I had passed.
Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now.
Riding's on the microphone with Ross MG. All the people in the dance will agree that we're well qualified to represent the LBC. Me and Louis, we gon' run to the party.
So the transition from when they're trying to pass, if you're ever on the bottom, like this was perfect escape. Like this was great reversal. Like the guy has the moves.
She said, have I got a little story for you? What you thought was your daddy was nothing but a while you were sitting home alone at age 13. Your real daddy was dying. Sorry I didn't see him, but I'm glad we talked. Oh, I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive.
Now I'm going for a shin to shin entry, typically into X guard, and he just goes right for my neck and gets a guillotine. Probably should have had my shoulders up more, but anytime somebody can see the back of your neck in jiu-jitsu, they will guillotine you. It's like you're bleeding in a water of sharks. So, you know, just fight like this. Next, let's talk about pressure. So when you are in on the top side and you are applying pressure, here I am doing it in the form of a crossface where I have my shoulder pressed up against his near side artery, and it's very uncomfortable for people. Now, if you apply pressure, there's a couple of tactics to applying pressure. You can apply pressure and that makes the person not want to fight anymore because they can become so exhausted from fighting the pressure. It's very taxing. Also, you have to think, sometimes applying pressure can work against you because it creates a ferocity, like a very fighting spirit in them. And there have been times when, you know, I apply pressure and that causes them to just explode as a response to the pressure that I'm applying. So I wanted to tell you this so that you know how to use pressure and the pros and the cons of it. Sometimes it can work for you, oftentimes it works for you, but also know the more pressure you apply, sometimes that gives them a very strong motivation to escape. I have never seen people try to escape so fast than when we are training with strikes and they're getting slapped around on the bottom. That is like immediate motivation, and pressure plays that same role. In fact, striking can be viewed as pressure and distraction. So he goes right from the reversal and escaping side control to a north-south choke. But, you know, fool me once, shame on me. Let's see what happens next time. So Zach gives me the same position and I'm like, I am not going forward. So I do a cradle position, and do you see how he wraps my head and he's trying to move me forward? I remove his grip and I didn't want that same reversal happening. So I figured I would go in for a cradle. And then from a cradle, from here, you can basically close a guard around their head and foot. And from here, you can arm bar their near side arm that's trapped. And you also have a knee bar from this position as well. And now it is a heel hooking fight. I am attacking his heel as he is trying to put on a move that is often put on him by a blue belt, Kayla. So right now he's attacking the primary. Whenever you're doing heel hooks or ankle locks, the primary leg is the leg that is between your legs. So right now, my right leg is between his, and then that was just a heel hook right there. And with heel hooks, I don't play, like I tap quickly to heel hooks. I don't wait until there's any pain. Now from here we start standing and I get the outside trip. And his knee hits me in the face and he's like, "Are you okay?" And I respond with, "I caught the takedown." Like, I don't care if a knee gets me in the face. If I get the takedown, like, we're not stopping. And of course, we're not in frame. It's like you get a wide angle lens and I still have to drag them back into frame. So right here, he does a great job of getting to his knees. From any position, he gets to his knees, and that creates such great leverage for him to use to get out of a lot of things, really. Right now he is obviously on the top in side control, and this is where it gets very interesting. So in order to escape side control, I get an underhook, and then I like to go for a single leg and then belly out from here. So here I am bellying out. From here you can go for a double, but I'm basically trying to get to my knees. And in order to do that, I need to turn into him. And Zach is doing everything he can to prevent me from turning into him. Right now he has a choke on. So from here, I'm going for a Kimura. You can see I have a Kimura on his near side arm. And now I'm butt scooting. Aggressively butt scooting. No, but for real, this is playing open guard. Right now, the key is to make sure, one, to circle out of his ankle grips, which is why you saw me circling my legs, because otherwise now they can pin your ankles down like he just did. So I wanted to keep my legs between me and him and to avoid ankle grip. So those are the two things to keep in mind when you're playing open guard. Now here is where I lost about 3 inches of circular skin. So again, I am in order to escape, I need to not be on my back. And in order to maintain a position from the top side, Zach wants both my shoulders pinned to the mat. I want to get one of my shoulders up and start moving. That is essentially the principle of escaping from the bottom. So in order to get onto my side, I am penduluming my legs, and this is where this is it right here. So he drives his head down into my sternum with a force that's basically giving the vibe of like, let's fight. That was not that. I know you can't feel it, but that was like signaling to me like, oh, you want to play that type of game of jiu-jitsu. Like, okay, I guess you just invited me to a game of pressure. So, you know, you just wait until I get out of the bottom of side control. You just wait. All right, so now Zach has my back and I am working to clear his hooks, which are his legs, intertwined in mine at the same time as fighting off the choke. And instead of going for a ninja roll, he basically grabs my far side leg, which puts him in the same position as if he just did a ninja roll. And since we're playing a pressure game, this is what I do back to Zach. So basically, okay, again, this is a pressure move that only do to people if they ask for it, okay? So I am passing half guard, and so I grip the back of his head and I drive my knee into his sternum. So right here is where I am just basically like, I don't care about the far side underhook. I'm just caring about applying equal force. You know, it's all about physics. If force is applied to you, apply equal and opposite force back to them. So that's just what happened there. So yeah, so thank you so much for watching this episode of how to torture friends and influence people. It was, it was great spending time with you. Again, if you haven't subscribed, I welcome you. Go ahead and subscribe. The pressure game is very interesting. Yeah, that's all I have. All right. So yeah, again, thank you so much for watching. Keep on training. Remember, if you're going to give pressure, it depends on who you're rolling with, but if somebody gives pressure to me, I'm going to give it back. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. All right, until next time, bye.